Hello, my fellow grounded pounders. I'm joined by my beautiful girlfriend.
Hello.
We're going to be taking a look at Slime Rancher. And this is a video I've wanted to do since last year. Um, at first, it's going to seem a bit chaotic. There's a lot going on at first. And I did that so that, if you do want a distraction, it's amusing enough to be a lot to handle. And this is kind of the game. It took about, I went online and looked up about footage of this game. And it takes about a minute or two for you to get acclimated to the speed that this game moves at.
Oh, okay.
Um, at least for me. But anyway, I also like to offer variety and stuff. So later in the video, I'm going to move much slower.
Oh, okay.
But in the beginning, I kind of, the crazy stuff.
Okay.
So, this is Slime Rancher,
Mm.
and I dig this game. And this is my game, and I wanted to show everybody the slimes as they look before you can combine slimes, and that's kind of the cool thing. Like you just saw those hunters,
Mm-hmm.
the little raccoon-looking guys,
Yeah.
and you just saw a little bit of the boom slimes, the ones that went to boom.
Mm-hmm.
And then the tabby slimes, the cute little cats.
Mm-hmm.
And now we've got the honey slimes. And if you feed them their favorite food, they give off two plorts. A plort is a form of currency in this game.
Oh.
So think about it like that's what you harvest from them.
Okay.
Sometimes the comparison could be made to, you know, pooping, but
What?
that's just a silly thing that I say to my younger relatives when I play this game. Um, it's just kind of funny
Yeah.
because that technically is what they're doing. But it's just like it's a fun way to harvest
Uh-huh.
from the slimes. Otherwise, how else are they going to be of value to your farm? So if you give them their favorite food, and if you combine them, it's easier to find their favorite food. So like you saw those hens, and then those are the plorts
Okay.
that I'm collecting. That thing sucks them all up. And what I do is I put it into the food dispenser, and they've got little corrals.
Ah.
Yeah, it's pretty cute.
So are you harvesting?
What do you mean?
Well, it looked like with the gun you were like shooting, but are you collecting them? Is that
Collecting
okay?
them.
So
Yeah,
you're like, okay, you're
yeah.
picking
So
your
yeah,
fruits and
it's a
vegetables.
vac. There's lots of vacuum themes in this game, and pretty
Okay.
much that's all you're doing. That's just a big vacuum gun. It doesn't get much more friendly,
Mm-hmm.
kid-wise and stuff.
Right.
Um, and what you can do to make this easier on yourself is you saw how in the other those are where I keep my meat eaters
Mm-hmm.
in the other place with all the hens because hens breed there normally.
And hens.
Yeah, and I've got corrals and tabby hens always get into the little they're not corrals but they're little coops.
Mm-hmm.
And I got two coops going and I have a naturally generating hen farm so
Okay.
that everybody can eat kind of naturally and on the open range. So I like to let my tabbies wander just because there is actually like a space issue. You can't have every single slime, which I was a bit bummed about at first, but
Mm-hmm.
they really, I guess, are encouraging you to combine slimes.
Mm-hmm.
So when you combine a slime, it becomes a copy of that slime. Like let's say you combined honey and tabby,
Mm-hmm.
it would be a cat gooey honey thing.
Okay.
Okay. And let's say you combine these beautiful looking creatures, they're the crystal slimes,
Mm-hmm.
with what's the slime that you saw? with the phosphorus slimes, the ones that were flying,
Mm-hmm.
that were blue, light blue. You
Mm-hmm.
saw them 2 seconds ago.
Right, I just didn't know the
Um,
name. I thought you were quizzing me.
no, no,
Like, no,
no,
got nothing.
no. Yeah, I wouldn't get into this game. Um, but anyway, if you combine them, blah blah blah, they look really cool and stuff.
So do you have to build your own farm? Like, did you
Yeah,
start with nothing, or do they start
yeah,
you
they
off
give
with
you
it?
empty plots
Oh, okay.
of land. So like, there's little tiny squares. So you see where this corral was? It used to be an empty little square, and they
Okay.
let you fill it up. And there's puddle slimes, and puddle slimes can't combine with other slimes, and it really there's this game. This game focuses a lot on exploration,
Mm-hmm.
and and I don't, I really tried to make this farm the easiest to show off
Mm-hmm.
in a way. Um, but also in doing that, made it the least fun to play. Because if you do everything perfect in this game and give everybody their favorite food and their own plot of land,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Who does that?
then you have to run around like a maniac for literally 30 minutes every time I open up the game. I
No.
have to do all of this maintenance before I can enjoy anything.
Sounds like Farmville.
Yeah, yeah, really?
Yeah,
You played that?
I did.
God, you know,
And I liked it. No, but like, if you,
no,
like,
that's totally fine that you
but like,
played it and liked it, but like liked it, but like of all the why you don't know anything about any
I
video
know.
games, but Farmville you checked out.
Well, the thing is, right? But every time you went in, there was so much maintenance. And then if you didn't get to it, I stressed about it.
Really?
Feel like my crops are gonna die, and
Seriously?
yeah, I couldn't handle the stress.
That's hilarious. And then these are quantum slimes. They can teleport out. Do you see how that one's chilling on the thing?
Hmm.
What they do is they basically like mentally project their image of where they're going to teleport. So
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, they could potentially fly all over the place, but this is where it gets scary because if they eat another plort that's not like their own, so what happens, how you combine them is the things that you harvest from them are plorts. If the tabby and the honey
Hmm.
ate a rock plort, it would
Right.
become a tar monster because
Oh,
it's too different,
oh,
it's too
okay.
crazy, and it's like it kind of touches on gluttony, I guess.
Mm.
Because then they eat anything,
Oh,
um, and they become a tar monster, and they're quite harmful. So you do not want your guys to leave. So those quantum slimes are kind of nerve-wracking because they're
oh.
always essentially threatening that they're leaving.
Do you have to have them?
You don't have to have any of them, but that's why you can combine them. Like these meat eaters are
Hmm.
really hard to satisfy, even with two coops and all the chickens that are here in this because chickens naturally spawn in this land. But yeah,
Oh, so they're eating the chickens?
yeah, they eat the chickens. Yes, some slimes
This
eat
is a
meat.
brutal game.
Yeah, some slimes eat meat. But the hen hens are so dopey, and it's not like the hen hens are ever scared. So it's just
Yeah.
it's not that big a deal. But see what I mean? It's like, are they leaving?
Oh, so they're always taunting
Yeah,
you.
yeah. So I was like, uh-oh, that's why you saw me run and get more fruit. Because I was like, oh no. Because I got their favorite fruit,
Hmm.
and I put it in an auto feeder, so I should be good for, 5 minutes. Anyway, this game definitely is, yeah. And that's the little rubber ducky I bought for them so that they could have a little flight.
That's That's too funny.
Yeah.
Do they actually play with it?
Well, they're always around it,
Mm.
so I think puddle slime play.
Mm.
So, recently I was driving to here
Mm-hmm.
on a Sunday night,
Mm-hmm.
and it was pretty late. Um, at least here it's everybody's asleep. Um, but I saw this cat
Mm-hmm.
um, go into like this graveyard or whatever, like this that I passed, and I went, oh yeah, I'm like, let's go see if it's a cat that's owned by anybody. Oh no,
At
because
night, you're chasing a cat into a cemetery?
yeah, that's the opening of my story. So
It's like one of those movies.
yeah,
Don't do it.
yeah. So I pulled the car over, and I get out and I go look for this cat because I'm like, maybe there's a sign for it. Maybe if I'll just pick, I'll look at it. It'll
Mhm.
either look like it's been outside or
Right.
should be in a house. Because I'd hate to drive like a block and then see a wanted sign or something.
Right. Of course.
So I go and I follow this cat in the graveyard, and then oh yeah, look at this really cool wall. Um,
That is cool. Looks like a
so
vortex.
yeah, if you open all of if you feed all of the, like, put all the plorts into like little keyholes,
Mm-hmm.
it's like an ancient keyhole.
Yeah.
Um, you open this door, and it's kind of exciting because you open up
Oh,
a new area and you really feel like you earn it
yeah. Yeah.
sometimes.
Oh, Slimepedia.
Yeah, I was actually gonna do that reading thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I decided to just do gameplay. So the pink slimes eat everything, so they're kind of the worst to have on the farm because if they eat everything, it means they're always giving out plorts. And if they always give out plorts, more chances of a tar monster because more chances of
Gotcha.
combining. See how at pink rocks, pink tabbies,
Mm-hmm.
they're always combining. And if that pink tabby eat, so now that pink rock eats everything because it's part pink and
Mm-hmm.
part rock.
Mm.
So now if it goes near anything, it'll have a rock, and then if that tabby eats the rock, it becomes a tar monster. See how like it's way
Yeah.
easier now with the pink, and plus their plorts are nothing. But anyway, so I followed the cat into this graveyard, and I was trying to look for it, but it was really like there was like a foot of snow I was
Oh my
treading through,
God.
because nobody had been in there. Um,
Really? I wonder why.
so I was trying to look for this cat. And it was kind of hard, but it really dawned on me when I was about a quarter of the way into this graveyard how kind of creepy it was.
Imagine.
Yeah,
Like,
but
who would have thought that?
but what really dawned on me when I was like, oh, this might not be the best idea I've had, was when I saw three people smoking and chilling at one of the graves.
Oh boy.
And I went, and I was like, yeah, oh, I get it. Yeah, you know. So I kept looking for this cat because I wasn't gonna leave just because the repeat, like I wasn't gonna be scared and leave. I wanted to make sure the cat was okay. Was the cat theirs? Then
Okay. I am. I feel like, what?
what's the matter?
Oh, I don't know. Where do I begin?
So so I still kept going, and these three people noticed me. But then the cat started to go to them. Like it did like a curve
Yeah.
turn. So I was like, oh, it might be their cat. And I've already had an interaction with, if you remember that bunny story. I'll tell that in a little bit. But I was like, oh, if it's probably their cat because it's going to them, then you know. But what really was they turned to look at me, and they were just smoking one cigarette, and like I didn't know if they were like robbing the grave. Now I realized. Um, so they turned real slow at me, and you know, me and you were tough. Me and you've been in multiple situations and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, unlike most situations we've been in, what was freaky was they didn't say anything. They just turned back towards each other and started talking. I was like, oh, that's the worst thing.
That is so
That's a
creepy.
super bad sign. Because then I saw them like reach in their pockets or whatever, like, and I was like, oh yeah, I gotta go. So,
Can I give you some advice? Don't ever go into a cemetery at night under any circumstances.
it
If
was
I'm lost in a
for a fact.
cemetery, let me be lost.
Absolutely. So there's the tar monster.
Oh, so you do have them.
And this is on. I'm exploring now. This is on the open range. The
Hmm.
far far range. They happen all the time.
Far, far.
That's what it's called. It's funny
It does
how
make everything cuter. Hen,
it
hen, far, far.
exactly. It's funny how just an extra
Word
word
makes something so cute.
makes it fantastical.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, then I left, and then I realized they were probably robbing the grave, so I called the cops.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think robbing the grave means? Like,
I mean, I don't know, but they clearly were unhappy, and there were a lot of them apparently. Yeah, because I thought there were three, but then there was like a fourth one. I was like, oh, this is pretty shady. This isn't just your average say hi to a past relative thing.
well, not in the middle of the night. I
Yeah,
mean,
plus the creepy look at me and then smoke the cigarette and then talk to your friends. That's like,
well,
but like in a threatening way, not in a
yeah.
what's he doing here? Who follows a cat in the middle of a graveyard for a past? That's not what they were talking.
What did the police say?
Um,
What were you doing there?
yeah,
Did you tell them? Oh my God.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah. But they were like, there's nobody in there. So, but there was. But like, they must have left or something.
Yeah, they must have left. They were
I was like,
probably,
okay, I really gotta go. I'm really tired and I've got work in the morning. Okay.
they were probably just partying a little bit. Or...
Well, I think they had a shovel. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah. Like I
That's a,
think they did.
that's a little weird.
That's what I'm saying. And it was inside the graveyard, so nobody could see him from outside unless you wandered in. But I was doing my civic duty of walking around and hugging people. Oh, and here's Gordo slimes. I think no, they're not called. Maybe they are. Whatever. Gordo. Yeah, they are Gordos.
Hmm.
You feed them a bunch of stuff, and they, you know, what they are they're like the coagulation of
Hmm.
a ton of lethargic slimes.
Oh.
So, you know, again, I said there's like this focus on gluttony.
Hmm.
That's kind of what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
Because they've just eaten too much. We've got to rescue him. Anyway,
I
because the
really.
tar monster. What? No, I saved him.
You think about me eat too much. I said I relate.
Oh, yeah, right. Um, so yeah, should I tell my bunny story too, I guess?
Well, I'm still trying to process this. So yeah, go on with the funny story. I literally cannot believe you did that.
Yeah, I had a little adventure.
I'm frightened for you.
Yeah, I know it was not the best move,
No, it was not.
but gotta help cats out.
I'm all for helping the cat.
So here's another
Oh
time.
boy.
So I was in a different state in Arizona,
Hmm.
in a really bad part of the neighborhood, and I saw a bunny, and,
Oh my
and I
god.
went like, well, this is a sign, obviously, for me at about 1 a.m. to just go chase this bunny and make it my new friend. So I start following this bunny, and he walks onto this person's property,
Hmm.
and I think this is great because this is gonna allow me to get the bunny because he's just chilling on this person's property. So I start walking on this person's property. It's just on the front lawn. It's not too bad. And I'm this close to the bunny, and all of a sudden the door opens, and I forget if he was armed and pointing it at me then, or if he came out and went, what are you doing, and then pointed at me. But he comes out and he goes, what are you doing? And I go, getting my bunny.
Oh my god. You have something.
Yeah. So he has this gun now, and he's pointing at me, and he goes, "That's my bunny." And I went, "You sure?" Because I've been following him around a while. But like you gotta realize, like I was in a really bad place, so I like didn't really care, you
Yeah.
know. So it doesn't seem like a rational thing for a person to
No.
say. But when again, remember I told you all the stories about
Right.
like I mean, I was in rooms full of beautiful women, and I was shaking my butt and doing weird, like because we had to do little plays. I told you, remember?
Yeah.
I couldn't have cared less what they thought about me. So I would like do embarrassing dance because we had to act like kindergartners, and I did an embarrassing dance in front of a room filled of college-age beautiful girls, and I couldn't have cared less, and they all just loved me because they thought it was so cool. It's like you women are. I'm like two of you combined, like size wise, and you got what's the Kevin James prophecy? It's, it's really weird, but so that's kind of where I was at. So I said, "Are you sure?"
Are you sure?
And he goes, "Yeah," and he kind of cocks the gun or whatever, and I said, "I don't know." He kind of looks like mine.
Oh my god.
He shook his head and didn't say anything. And at that point, my girlfriend at the time came up in a car and went, "Time to go." And opened the car door. And I went, "All right, maybe I got confused." Or whatever I said. Like, all right, maybe this one's yours. Something like
Oh my god, I'm speechless. Okay, so now I have two pieces of advice. Never go into the cemetery at night, especially by yourself, and do not debate someone holding a gun at you.
yeah, yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah. Apparently, that guy owned bunnies. Who knew?
Who knew?
Yeah, he like I found out later from but yeah, that was a terrible part of the neighborhood too.
Mm.
But apparently I saw later he had like two, three bunnies.
Hmm.
I thought it was dangerous because it was such a bad part of town. I mean, we have coyotes and to let them wander at night.
Yeah.
So I still was like so close to saving him.
I know you love bunnies.
We both, yeah. So you've kind of missed it. What I've been doing right now is I'm on the exploring part, and that's pretty much what we're doing.
Okay.
We're just looking around, and we opened up this weird vault, and we teleported somewhere using the quantum slime ports. We harnessed their energy, so to speak, their quantum energy, and we went to this weird place where there's ones that produce twisters that look like little Saturn.
Oh,
There's
because
this.
this is like the alien farm.
No. They look like Saturn.
Oh, well, it just made me think like you were in some
We might be
outer
actually.
space
It may.
type farm.
Well, we are obviously in outer space in the game. That's why we're harvesting slimes and stuff. It's super in the future and all that stuff. But yeah, this is the glass desert, which technically could be anywhere. I mean, I'm sure that it says it specifically in the game. But anyway, so right now I found this Tangle Gordo that's upstairs, and I'm trying to feed it all the painted hens that I can, and feed it because it's a meat eater, oddly enough, this cute little flower thing. Um, and I want to unlock more slimes, so to speak, and that's kind of where I'm exploring a new place. I'm looking on all the nooks and crannies, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, definitely.
What do you think of the game?
It's cute. I like it. I can see how, it keeps you going because you have to keep maintaining as well as acquiring.
Yeah. It is so much easier when you combine them, though.
Oh, really?
Because then you just pick which fruit grows the easiest. So like mint mangoes and cuberries grow super easy. So mix them with a hard thing, like 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 the mosaics or the quantums, and then they'll always be fed and they'll never teleport and I'll be completely fine.
Oh, wow.
But my little relative, it was so cute because I said, guys, we've got to rework all of our combinations. Get a piece of paper and a pencil. and and we and when I got them dinner and then I came back down and they were discussing we can't have that because then they would just be on the far range walking around and then he goes
That's so cute.
yeah they were kind of like this like heavily discussing how serious this was and so I just found a fountain and I tried to put water in it and it said use your head Beatrice and I tried to put water in it, but it didn't work. So I assume I need puddle ports or something. But this is kind of the exploration part is
kind of
what in the world could this go in the glass desert? What could this be and what will it unlock? That's kind of the funness. But yeah, I can't. And then he was like, and then one of them turned to me and said, "We are not getting quantum slimes. It is too dangerous." And I said, that's why we're going to combine them so that it's super easy. And he goes, no. Did you read this? And he showed me. And it's like, they can teleport wherever. This is, no, absolutely not. And I said, okay. I try it, and if it fails, it'll be my fault. And he goes, if it fails, we're getting them off, promise.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
Like, do you see how adorable this is?
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I love so much is there's so many ways to appreciate video games.
Right, and I've learned a lot too, but there's also just so much like thinking involved and planning, and I think that's like especially for kids can be like a positive
thing. Socially rewarding.
Yeah.
And the way I do it, like even when I play a Mario game, I'm always having them use critical thinking.
Yeah.
Why did a developer put that there? There might be a secret there. So I'm always like where are the secrets, guys, and stuff. And
Yeah, like
it's
there's
fun.
so much like problem solving and, cooperation
Hmm.
too, It's a lot of good skills sort of masked as fun.
Yeah.
That one's cute.
So now look at these cute little flower ones, and they look amazing, but they're actually. It says they're super fierce, which I thought was kind of funny.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently they can root in the ground too, like they're tricky and stuff.
Oh. So what are you doing with them?
I'm gonna go bring them back home and quote unquote plant them.
Oh, okay.
But again, I was running out of room, so you're not gonna see footage of that
Mhm.
because I wasn't actually able to find a new plot for them with their own food.
Mhm.
And I had to leave the dervish because they're the easiest to find here.
Mhm.
So I decided I would leave them and collect because you only have 4 slots
Mhm.
besides the water. So and you can customize your own farm. You can remodel it and make it prettier looking. And I
That's
always,
my favorite part. That's really
yeah,
what I liked about farm though.
oh yeah,
Like making the farm look pretty.
seriously, that's pretty good. What what can you do in that game though? Like,
Well, you can plant your crops, and you can, the more crops you
oh,
harvest.
here's me. And I'm so sorry to interrupt you.
Mhm.
This is me showing the final part of a normal game.
Mhm.
So I'm going to be going very slow and just showing you
Mhm.
my farm, showing the farm off. So this is the beautiful path, and if you go to the left,
Mhm.
there's the phosphorus tabbies, and
Mhm.
that's the phone if people want favors or anything,
Mhm.
and the phosphorus tabbies, which look amazing. And then you've got the crystal rad slimes, beautiful but deadly. And yeah, those are my favorites, the crystal ones.
Yeah, I like those too.
And the little toy dispenser was to the left.
Mhm.
And then these are the boom rock ones. And
It's quite a farm. Very expansive. Yeah, you got a big farm.
yeah, so you can have the cave, you can have a plot to the left. You can actually have 4, I guess. And then these are honey hunters. So they're the little raccoon guys that you saw in the beginning.
Ah.
That's the hunters.
Mhm.
And then these are fire slimes,
Oh my goodness.
which you feed ash. I really don't understand how it works though, because
Mhm.
you don't actually feed them. You just burn stuff and they eat the ground.
Huh.
So kind of gross in my
Yeah.
mind. And then if you go to
Oh my
the
God,
other
this place
side,
is huge.
yeah, well, we're going back. Yeah, this is just to the right
Mhm.
of the farm. In this little cubby, we actually don't have anything here in this version of the game. Um, this is a different farm, just so
Mhm.
you know. This is the real farm. And then we've got this, which is where I'm going to put the dervish and the quantums.
Mhm.
And then to the right of us are the mosaics. So please continue now that I explained what's going on.
I don't know. I was just, but basically you plant things and then you harvest. The more you harvest, the more money you get. The more money you get, the more you can buy things for your farm. So you can buy certain kinds of houses, decorations. You can buy, better crops, and yeah, it's fun.
That's awesome.
Well, I haven't done it for a while. I didn't do it too long, but it was fun.
That's really cool. Yeah, um, we should really play The Sims. I think you'd get a huge kick out of it.
Yeah, I've never, well, surprise, surprise, never played it, but I've heard of it. It looks fun.
Yeah, just from what you said, you get to upgrade stuff and customize it your own way
Yeah.
and stuff. Um, I don't know how good the last game is because it came out and they're doing this expansion thing where like every single time um, you play, it's just kind of worth it if you do
Mhm.
it like they'll release the base game and
Mhm.
then a $15 expansion every single month, it felt like. So I stopped bothering with the game
Mhm.
until there was like a complete edition, but they don't ever do a complete edition as far as I know. Not on consoles anyway.
Mhm.
Those are the mosaics and they're
I
super
know they're
super
really
beautiful
pretty.
too. You got
Um,
a favorite slime?
do I have a favorite slime?
Yeah.
Um, the mosaic slime.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mosaic.
Really?
Well, they're the prettiest.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, they actually emit deadly rays of light
Ooh.
and they attract other slimes toward themselves. And as I've told you about the chlorids, how dangerous that could be.
Oh.
So we've just got to combine them with somebody who's super easy to maintain,
Mhm.
which I guess are going to be the tangles, oddly enough, the little flower dudes,
Yeah. Oh.
because
Well, that would be a pretty common. So do
it would be
they
a super.
combine and become like
Well, you just saw with the dervish and the quantum. That's how they look.
Mhm.
Is they're just. It's really funny how this plus this equals cute.
Mhm.
Little,
Yeah.
you know. Anyway, that's pretty much the video
Oh,
right
that's
here.
really fun.
Yeah. Um, I really really enjoy this game.
Yeah, no, I can
But
see
you
why.
definitely make your own fun. And now this is going to be me running around feeding everybody hens and checking stuff. I might slow this footage down or something since it was so calming 2 seconds ago.
Mhm.
But anyway, um, yeah, this was so unenjoyable to maintain.
Well, that's the problem. It becomes like an obligation.
Yeah, well, actually, my other one is super easy. The one where I combine stuff.
Yeah.
It was the one where I refused to combine stuff that was
Oh.
chaotic and stuff.
Mhm.
And I refused to combine it so that I could show on the video what they look like by themselves.
Mhm.
There's a lot to process and that's another great thing is
Yeah.
just how each game requires you to step into its own world and stuff.
Right.
I did it. I don't. Into the Breach is so easy now.
Mhm.
It's terrible. I played. If you beat the entire game, you unlock a secret squad,
Mhm.
and I played the secret squad on hard.
Mhm.
It wasn't a challenge at all. It was so
Wow.
disappointing to play that long, to beat the game countless times,
Right. No
and
challenge.
then it not to be a challenge, to it to be so obvious
Right.
where to go and what to do. It's really, and I only played for about a week and a half before I devoured it, right?
Right.
It
Oh
was only
yeah.
a week and a half and then that was it. I mean, I work and everything, so what happened? I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Well, I had a lot of fun. This was
Yeah,
really enjoyable, and
I'm glad
I'm
you think
glad
so.
you. I've been hearing about it, so
You have been hearing about
I have been hearing about it. So I was glad to see it, and
it. It's really interesting. This is on the Xbox One. Normally I
mhm,
show you PS4 games.
mhm.
I feel like the Xbox always has a gummy bear engine on it. Do you know what that doesn't make sense to you?
No.
What I mean is everything feels kind of gooey. Some engines,
Mhm,
like this recent game Sea of Thieves,
mhm.
they feel more cube-like. Like doesn't this feel different than like a PS4 game you play? I understand it's just aesthetic style and stuff.
Right, but you definitely can see, tell the
Yeah,
difference.
you
I know
can't.
what you.
Isn't it interesting? I
Yeah.
feel like this is more cube and shape formed.
That's interesting.
And the same thing with Sea of Thieves, this new Xbox One game. I feel like the engines that they use
Mhm.
are have this unique signature to them.
Interesting. Very interesting.
So, whatever. Thank you so much for listening. You want to sign off in your cute little voice?
Well, thank you very much, and I hope you like and subscribe and share. Um, we enjoy doing this. We hope it helps people the way it helps us, and it would just be nice if people acknowledge that. But either way, if it helps one person, that's a good thing.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Do you see how it's not even too chaotic right now?
yeah,
Like how once you get used to it,
yeah,
it's like totally normal.
yeah, because at first it does feel a little frenetic when you're kind of
It
watching
does.
it. Yeah,
But now look how
yeah,
easy it is to absorb.
yeah, you're right. You kind of adjust to
Yeah, and just to let you know, there was going to be 25 pure minutes of me taking care of the farm.
that.
Once in daytime,
It's my
and then
third piece of
once in
advice.
nighttime.
My third piece of advice. It's kind of like when people take pictures and they have 200 of just scenery and like
Yeah,
passing fields and cows. At the time it was beautiful, but looking back, maybe just one is good.
that's that's what I had to do. I remember when I was a kid, and somebody would be like, "I'm going to show you pictures of my new trip," and I remember the first time I was excited because I was like, "Oh, cool," and that was the last time I was excited. It was terrible.
Oh my God, I have to tell you something. Speaking of that, so someone came into my work and they took a trip and they were like, "Do you want to see the pictures?" And I'm thinking, I don't know, do I? But of course, they're really nice. So, but they went, I forget where they went to another state, but they went to a cat cafe. And what it is you book an hour and it's to adopt out cats. So they have this room with couches, chairs, cat toys, everything, and their litter boxes are in another room. But they have one of those little cat doors they have to go through, and so you book an hour that you literally can just have like 10, 12 cats just climbing all over you, patting them, playing games. And so she showed me pictures of playing with the cats, all kinds of cats. They were like from kittens up to like 11 years old.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I just thought what a cool idea.
that is pretty cool.
It was
That's
one
a
I,
Japanese thing.
is it?
Yeah, they have cafes.
Oh my God.
Of course they do. If it's
To adopt them though, or just to,
probably not. I mean,
yeah.
who knows?
Yeah, this was actually to adopt them, but it was also, to,
Yeah, it's super awesome.
yeah, it was really cute.
Yeah, my cats are Siamese cats. They're so beautiful.
That is a beautiful breed.
Yeah, they've got bright blue eyes. It's really cool.
Yeah.
You have they look like Siberian Husky cats.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's the best dog. Siberian
You
Huskies.
think so?
Balto.
Yeah.
No, not Balto.
I was bit by a husky, so
Seriously?
yeah, they're
They're
beautiful
so
animals.
beautiful.
No, they're good dogs, but they're also
What'd you
protective
do?
of their family. I just walked towards the door, and they were like,
That's on you.
there it is. They were protecting their home, but
Yeah. Well, that stinks. I'm sorry to hear that.
that's all right. I'm okay.
Thank you so much for listening, and good night.
Good night.